Good morning. It is Friday, July the 10th, and it's somebody's birthday today. I don't know who it is, maybe the guy you're looking at. I want you to turn to Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. I want to just share some thoughts with you this morning on my birthday about God, and hopefully it'll help you and get you through the weekend. Don't forget, Sunday morning we will have worship at 10:45, and you're welcome to join us in person if you choose that. You'll have to wear a mask, you'll have to use hand sanitizer, and you'll have your temperature checked when you come in to make sure you're safe and that everybody around you is safe. And so the second way you can join us is you can come to the church. If you don't feel good being in a crowd, you want to be here, you can sit out in the car, be a little hot, but you can listen on the radio and watch it on Facebook at the same time, or you can just choose to stay home or wherever and watch it on Facebook. And I'm sorry, my text has been going off every 2 or 3 seconds for the last hour, and that's great. I don't mind that, but I'm just making sure it's not an emergency for anybody. So those are the ways you can worship with us Sunday, and we hope you'll choose one of those. And so if you got Isaiah 55:8 in front of you, it says, and this is God talking, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." 59 years ago today, I came into the world about 2.5 months early, according to my mom, which I think if I did my math right, that would have meant my birthday was supposed to be at the end of September or early October at that point. But I was early, I was premature, I was 3 pounds, 11 ounces. And from what I've been told, first 4 months of my life, it was touch and go as to whether I was going to live or not, because my lungs didn't fully develop yet. And so I had issues. Mom carried me home on a pillow, if you can imagine that. My dad driving her home from the hospital with me on a pillow, no car seat or nothing. And not sure if any of that caused a problem or not. But it's been amazing just thinking back on my life that I made it through those early days by God's grace, because Mom had lost a child right before me. And I have a sister in heaven named Linda. And so that was always a threat with my mom and back then. So I know it had to be precarious being a parent now and knowing having lost a child too. I know life is precarious at that point, and it's very gentle and fragile and all those things. So as I grew up and got older, you can obviously see I got over my premature birth. It hasn't bothered me since then, I guess, what people tell me. But I was thinking on that last night and this morning, and I was reading my Bible this morning and reading Dr. Futrell's Directions book, and he mentioned he was flying in a plane one day, and he looked down, he saw a train. And he could see, obviously, miles down the train track where the train is a long train and it had blocked intersections and it was moving really slow. And he said he knew the frustration of people sitting at train intersections like we know here in Plantersville. And he said people get frustrated because they can't see the beginning or the end of the train. If they see the beginning, they know the end's coming. But if you get there in the middle, you don't know how long the train's been there and all that kind of thing. And then he compared it to this verse here. He said, God sees all of us at one time, all together. He knows our beginning. He knows our end. And his thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. So I started thinking about that this morning and just thanking God for all the blessings that he's brought my way. And who knew 59 years ago that I'd be doing what I'm doing right now, which I never had a clue until later in youth ministry and being led to pastor. I never knew I was going to be a pastor or be a minister like I am now. And now I don't know why I didn't do it earlier, because it's my passion. It's what my heart is. And so said all that to say this, is that we have lots of things in our lives and we don't see the beginning and the end of it necessarily. We might be in the middle of something, but God is faithful. And as I told one of our church members yesterday, God's been doing his God thing for a long time, more than we can even fathom in time references. So God's been doing this and he's been blessing us. And, I was thinking this morning, I prayed this morning again for an end to the COVID virus thing. And I did read something that this morning that there's a hope for a vaccine soon, that one is proving successful, and I can't remember the name of it, but there's one that's being successful right now in some test results. So they're still testing it and developing it. So maybe there's an end coming to this soon. And I thought about that as I was praying this morning. God sees beginnings, God sees ends, and God sees everything in between and everything afterwards. And he's faithful and he takes care of it. And that's one of the things I'm going to be thinking about today, is that, in the last 59 years I went through, and all of us in our years have been through lots of things, lots of changes, some things that we never thought we'd experience. I've told both our young men that I didn't think I'd see the day that they're living in right now. I always thought maybe after I was gone and long gone that they would experience what they're experiencing now, but I didn't think it would be while I was still around. And it's just a different world that we live in. So reflecting on years and reflecting on blessings, and I've already received many blessings already today. Many of you have wished me happy birthday, and I'm very appreciative of that. That you'd even think of me, but it just points me back to God and what he's done. He's done so much for us that we just can't even come up with words. We can't count the many ways and the many blessings and the many times that he's been there and gotten us through things. And for those of you on our prayer list that are our church members, I prayed for you, and I was praying for all of you this morning. And I went down the list and I just prayed, God, you see the beginning and the end of each of these situations. And right now we're in the middle of it, or we may be 2/3 of the way through it, or we may be 3/4. We don't know where we're at in it. But God, I pray that these folks that I'm praying for will find you faithful and be encouraged that you know the beginning and you know the end, and you're getting them to that point. So know that you've been prayed for this morning, and know that God is in control. I'm just blown away right now that some of the things that I've experienced in my life that I never thought I would experience and never thought I'd get to see. I never thought this kid from Montgomery, Alabama, who was scrawny for a while and then grew into what he is now physically, I never thought I'd be able to do some of the things I'm doing or have done, and never thought I'd experience some of the blessings that I have and I have seen in my life. And it's just a wonderful thing. So watch God today. Be trusting in that he knows your beginning and he knows your end. He knows everything in between. He knows the number of days he has for you on this planet. And he knows the number of hairs on your head and knows every detail about you. And he still loves you. And that's one of the things that's really been encouraging to me in the past days as we've dealt with this situation that we're in right now, is that God knew all this was coming. And God knows the beginning and God knows the end of it, but he's going to get us through this. And just like he does everything else. So I wanted to share those things with you today. Y'all have a great day, and thank you for those who have already wished me happy birthday. That's a great thing. And for those of you that will later, and if I don't get to say it to you in person or get to tell you on Facebook or on text, whatever, thank you for thinking of me today. That blesses my heart and blesses my life. I love you. Hope y'all have a good day. We will see you Sunday, and Lord willing, see you Sunday, and Lord willing, see you Monday too on the next video devotion. So y'all have a great day. Thanks a lot.